Back for 2025. This will be my first video of the year and we're doing another case. It's the murder of the marine biologist. So the whole month of January was kind of a blur. There was so much that happened. I am in LA, so we were affected by the fires. We were pretty close to the fires, but not close enough where we had to evacuate. But some of our family weren't so fortunate, so they've actually been staying with us, which is why I have a different setup here. Also, another crazy thing is that my daughter is 1 year old. Some of you might remember my announcement video last year. So yeah, she just had her first birthday. We had it planned in January and actually had to postpone that due to the fires as well. Yeah, so a lot of things have been up in the air. This is like the first time I'm having a chance to just sit down and film. I want to start it off with a bang this year. Hopefully I can solve this case. So we're just going to jump right into it. Let's go ahead and read this info here. Trudy Earhart, do you just say is a D silent? A marine biologist in Brisbane, Australia, has been found dead with a bullet wound to her head. Her colleague Dave Herman was also found in the ocean a few weeks prior. So not just one death, there's two. Trudy's brother Ben has been arrested and is the prime suspect in this case. The evidence has been collected for you and it's your job to work out if Ben is actually the killer or if someone else committed this murder. There are 32 documents in this folder. In addition to the evidence found here, you will also be required to access the internet to uncover further information associated with the case. So most likely it's going to be similar to the last one we did with the musician. Your mission is simple. Eliminate as many of the suspects as possible so that we can find the killer or killers and bring them to justice. So next we have the folder. I do have it with me right here just in case I want to see the physical documents. We'll go ahead and read this note. Usually this part is just a summary of what we just read, so I'll skip over to there. As lead detective work on the case, your aim is to find the killer or killers. It won't be easy. Familiarize yourself with all the evidence, including any online content that is mentioned. Internet access is required. So after you observe everything and identify potential suspects and motives, determine which suspect each piece of evidence belongs to and attempt to find an alibi for as many of the suspects as possible. So also just like the last case I did, this one is broken up into two parts. And today we're just going to go through part one. I wish I had time to play the whole thing, but that is not my situation right now. So I'm even hoping I can get through part one right now. Then there's a way to get missing evidence if you're missing anything, and then they have their social media. All right, let's move on. So as I mentioned, there is a part one and it comes in this little white envelope here. I've already opened up the contents, but we can read what it says here. So check all the contents are included, complete the objective stated in the internal memo, which I believe is the first document we're going to read. Then there's a hints page and there's a place where we put our solution. And then move on to part two once you've confirmed the answer for part one. Then on the back of this part one envelope, there is a list of our evidence here. Also a checklist to make sure you're not missing anything. I already went through, I have all the pieces here. Then they give you a link to get any missing pieces. So we're good. So we're just gonna go in the order listed here and starting off with that internal memo. Internal memo, Brisbane Police Department. To Detective Inspector P.L. Ayers, I'm assigning you to a new case. Miss Gertrude Trudy Earhart was found in her office at the University of Brisbane during the night of April or 19th of April by a university security guard. She had been shot and was already dead by the time the security guard found her. Since I always have to go back for the dates, I'm just going to take a note right now. Do we have a year? Maybe later we'll see one. Detective Inspector Barry Wolf took the case originally with Miss Earhart's brother Ben Earhart. I don't know if I'm saying this right. I'm just gonna say Earhart. Quickly becoming the prime suspect. Wolf's conclusion fit the character of Mr. Earhart, who already has a checkered past involving several years in prison. Wolf had reasonable suspicion to detain Earhart for questioning, but time is now running out before we have to either formally charge him or let him go. Okay, so this is not a cold case. I guess I am playing in the timeline, right? Because he is in jail right now. So I gotta solve it quick. So far, Mr. Earhart has said very little to the police. He pleaded innocent and that he was with Neptune on the night of the crime. But we haven't yet been able to prove whether this alibi is true or not. After that, he refused to speak to the police any further and wrote a letter to a defense attorney requesting representation. Security screening couldn't find anything wrong with it, so we allowed it to be sent along, but we made a photocopy just in case it proved useful to the investigation. Okay, gonna take a note of that. We'll see if this Neptune is relevant later on. Wolf today called in sick with food poisoning. Normally, I wouldn't reassign a case like this, but if Wolf did make a mistake, then we have to rectify it as soon as we can. So it's up to you to see if you can use this new information to prove Mr. Earhart's alibi, namely where he was at the time of the murder, and see if you can find anyone who can testify that this is the truth. My advice would be to see if you could discover who this Neptune person is, assuming it's a person. Do keep in mind that it's possible there were other people who might have wanted to see Miss Earhart dead. Additional evidence can be found in your webmail. Okay, so another webmail site. Oh, but this time we don't have to solve the password. I guess we can just access it. So I don't know if I want to go there right now. Probably go through the physical stuff first, and then we can come back to it. So we do have a year, 2019. Wolf requested some information from the archive, so it might be astute to check it out. Okay, we'll just take another note about this webmail. That way it'll make it easier for me later on. I can just copy and paste this. So next we have the letters that Ben wrote. So as a post-it note, we have intercepted this letter written by Ben in his police cell to his lawyer. And this is the Brisbane police who intercepted it. Hello, I write to you, to's underline. Oh, okay, I see a bunch of underlined words. Okay, it's definitely a hidden code in here. We'll read through it first, and then we'll go back. I write to you in much distress. I have been imprisoned of a crime I didn't commit. Maybe I should start from the beginning. My sister, Dr. Gertrude Earhart, Trudy to her friends, well, to everyone except important documents really, lecturer in marine biology at the University of Brisbane, was shot dead. She's one of the leading experts in the country on jellyfish. She's written several books and articles on the subject, but the police arrested me for the crime. I swear, I'm innocent. I love my sister. I wouldn't ever dream of killing anybody, full stop. Full stop. I don't know who says that. They only think it's me because I've been in trouble with the law in the past. I'll admit, I've been naughty before, but nothing like this. Actually, maybe I will keep track of these words as we go. To and then naughty, right? That's it. Please consider this my formal request for you to defend me. I remember reading in the paper a big news event about how you won a case and got the guy off the hook, so I trust you'll be able to do the same for me. So there are some newspapers in here. Maybe that's what I need to look for in there. But we have news event and then one. I think that's it. Please, you've got to prove my innocence, not just so I can have my freedom, but because the food in here is really quite awful. What I ate last night did not sit well with me. Okay, so I'm guessing these are numbers. Like 1 is 1, 8. There's a person who can provide my alibi. The only problem is I don't know their real name. If you can find Neptune, they'll be able to prove I wasn't at the crime scene when my sister was shot. You have the braininess to prove my innocence. Oh, braininess? Is that a word? Oh, maybe it is. I tracked my location using a GPS locator that saved my coordinates. Web address is, and then there's address here, and my username is Ben Earhart. Before you ask, I've already given you the password. Oh, okay. So now this is the password. So then before, right? Before. Then we got www.gpswiz. So maybe this one I do want to visit if we can crack it right now. But let me see the next letter. Yeah, so maybe I do want to read Ben's other letter because it might be related to this letter or might help crack the password. I guess we'll see. So sticky note says note recovered, I think, from Ben Earhart's residence. To whoever will find this note, I'm meeting Neptune tonight. My sister organized a meeting with this person, but she had to stay at the university to catch up on some marking or something. So she's sending me to meet Neptune instead. I'm guessing this meeting is something to do with her dead friend who drowned that she keeps insisting was murdered. Okay, so this is the one they mentioned in the intro. Apparently this Neptune person can't reveal their real name for fear or for, or for some reason. Who knows? Maybe it is the Greek/Roman god of the seas. Stranger things have happened. Is Neptune Greek or Roman? I thought it was Greek. Anyway, this whole thing sounds incredibly shady, so I'm writing this note. So if I'm kidnapped, People will know what has happened to me. I am taking my GPS locator so you can find me if I go missing. So that's by Ben. If you're reading this, ignore all that. Neptune was not a kidnapper or anything like that. We met in a cafe on Park Road. She refused to tell me her real name, but did say it was something close, and she was mightier than the sword. Okay, like a pen? Probably some sort of word game, like that ABC equals ECD thing. Okay, I'm gonna take notes here. Okay, so she also made sure to wear her sweatshirt hood down over her face so I couldn't see what she looked like. I do recall a logo with coral and bubbles on it with the word staff underneath. Okay, so there's a sweatshirt, logo, coral and bubbles. So she probably works somewhere. She didn't stay long, but she did give me an envelope addressed to Trudy to pass on to her. So I did see an envelope and I did open the contents, and we will get to that soon enough. So now this seems like a different thing. This is just to identify Neptune. So let's go back to the first letter. We had 2 naughty news event, 1 freedom, 8 braininess before. Makes absolutely no sense. Okay, so let's take another post-it note here. If 2 is 2, right? But then we have naughty news event. And then 1 freedom, 8 braininess, B4. Like 4 or B4? I don't know. You could get 21A4. Also, I don't know what I'm looking for. So okay, let's go here and see what it looks like. Okay, so it has username and password, membership number. Okay, maybe we can try it. So I had 2184, and let's just go for it. So first we got his username, and then 2184. No! So it's numbers, right? Two naughty. Oh, is this one of those, what's that game? Mad Gav? Naughty news event one freedom. Naughty news event 1 freedom 8 braininess before. Braininess before. I don't know. Naughty news event. Let me make sure I got the right words here. Okay, guess, you know what? Let's just come back to this. Let's just move on. This one I might keep in mind if I see a logo with coral and bubbles. But next we have the coroner's report. So she was 52 years, there's no toxicology, or they didn't do a toxicology. They found the bullet, right? So they x-rayed the front of the head, bullet wound to the front of the head. The bullet passed through the center of the frontal bone and through the brain tissue before becoming lodged in the occipital bone. The direction of bullet travel would suggest that the victim was either in a seated position while the shooter was standing, or the victim had their head slightly bowed when the bullet struck. Okay, I think those are some good details there. So cause of death, the brain was destroyed. Victim was shot in the head at point blank range. So, that makes you think it is someone that she knows. The time of death, I estimate the time of death between... Okay, so now we have a time frame. Maybe I'll take some of the other notes as well. And that possibly the shooter was standing while she was sitting, or she was bowing down, but I'm just going to leave the first part there. All right, let's just keep on moving then. Now we have a crime scene report. So this is Barry Wolf. I arrived at the scene of crime at 2240 on the 19th. Jonathan Agnew, a security guard at the university, found the body during his rounds around 22:15 that day and called the police. The room was the victim's second-floor office, which she had formerly shared with a recently deceased colleague. The victim, marked as the red circle in the diagram below, was at her desk, desk 1. Okay, so she was probably sitting at her desk, right? The person came right in and shot her. Victim was slumped back in her chair, 1 bullet wound to the forehead. There was no exit wound on the other side of the head or damage to the chair or wall behind her. Statements taken from those on campus suggest that a silencer was used, since there were no mentions of hearing a gunshot at any point that evening. Okay, so we got some connections to some serious hardware here with a silencer. The room was in darkness. We presumed the culprit turned off the lights to make people believe no one was there. There didn't seem to be any signs of struggle. Apart from the blood seeping into the carpet under the victim's chair, the room was not in any state of disarray. There are no marks on the window. We believe the culprit came in through the door and acted quickly. On the victim's lap was a pad of paper with her pen nearby on the floor. Written on the pad was the name of the victim's brother. We believe, as the victim's chair was tucked into her desk and the victim's lap was obscured by a modesty panel, the culprit did not notice this. It's weird why they noted a potted plant. I wonder if that's important. So we have a corridor and then the door here, 2 bookshelves, another desk, and then the desk she was sitting at. All right. So, like I said, it had to be someone she was familiar with. I don't know if some stranger came in. Would you react in time either? You would just stay there and then they would walk right up to you. Well, I don't even have the list of suspects yet. I'm guessing they're all people that are close to her. Obviously, the primary suspect is her brother, someone she would be very familiar with. So if the brother came walking in, she wouldn't be alarmed. But we know it's not the brother because we're trying to prove his innocence. So let's see. I mean, we don't even have the list of suspects yet, so let's keep going. The next document is a record of interview. On the 15th of April, I had a chance to interview John Harding, or Dr. John Harding, who is the head of the marine biology department at the University of Brisbane and was a colleague of Trudy's. This is the transcript of our conversation. The time is 5:05 p.m. on Monday, 25th of April, 2019. I am sitting with Dr. John Harding in his office in the Mackenzie Building of Natural Science, University of Brisbane, main campus. Dr. Harding, thanks for letting me talk with you. Oh no, it's no problem at all. Happy to help. You don't mind if I record this conversation, do you? No, that's fine. Good. Just have to make sure you're aware of everything, formalities and such. I understand. Now, for how long did you know Dr. Earhart? 20 years or so. So you knew her pretty well then? Yes, definitely. Now, do you recall Dr. Earhart ever mentioning Ben? Ben Earhart, right? Her brother? That's correct. Yes, many times. He came up in conversation every now and then. Can you say how often? It can be a rough estimate. Oh, well, it wasn't a regular occurrence, but once a month, say? And can you describe the tone of these conversations? How did Dr. Earhart feel about her brother? Oh, they were positive. She seemed to get along with her brother. That's how it seemed to me. No animosity between the two? None that I could make out. At least no more than what's average for siblings. No disputes over wills or estates or anything? No. Can you remember the last time Dr. Earhart mentioned Ben? I think, yes. She mentioned him on the day she died. Said he was doing a favor for her, how she'd have to buy him a drink in return. So you don't know of any reason why Ben would want to kill her sister? I don't know of any reason. I can think of reasons why other people would want to kill her, but not Mr. Earhart. Care to elaborate on that? Well, she was always campaigning for various issues, mostly, always about the environment, standing up for the creatures of the sea. I think she made a few enemies along the way. Any enemies in the faculty? No, don't think so anyway. What about among students? This is all confidential, right? Yes. Okay, there was a former student of Trudy's, named of Beatrix LeBlanc. She enrolled here a few years ago. Straight A student for her first couple of years. Got on well with the other students and the lecturers. However, at the end of her 3rd year, Beatrix handed in her dissertation project. Trudy was her dissertation tutor, so she was responsible for marking it. During the marking process, Trudy became suspicious whether or not Beatrix had actually written the entire dissertation herself. It later emerged that, indeed, Beatrix had plagiarized her essay. She was, naturally, brought before a disciplinary panel. She argued that it was all a terrible coincidence and she hadn't knowingly plagiarized anything, but the board decided otherwise and she was expelled from the university. That was at the end of last year. Expelled? Over plagiarism? Well, it wasn't as if she'd simply left the source unreferenced. This institution does not tolerate students trying to pass other people's work as their own. Miss LeBlanc knew full well the penalty of this sort of behavior, and she paid the price for doing so. And what was her reaction to the board's decision? Well, as you can probably expect, she was outraged. She always maintained that she hadn't done anything wrong and deserved her degree. I mean, I can understand. She'd put in 3 years hard work and received nothing for it. But, well, plagiarism is plagiarism. Did she hold Dr. Earhart personally responsible? I do believe so. Trudy mentioned being harassed online, and letters too. She asked me to burn them. I thought it might be pertinent to keep them. Well, the police have them now. I see. Well, will you be okay to testify about all this in court? Yes, I'd be happy to help. Thank you very much for sparing your time, Dr. Harding. Okay, possible suspect here. We're not really focused on this quite yet, but we'll keep this in mind. So that is a pretty good motive. You got expelled. She's also young. Could have been a crime of passion. Maybe not so much planned out, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's move on. All right, so this is the envelope for Trudy Earhart. And I wonder why this is underlined. Don't know. But anyways, inside was a photo. And I love me some glassy photos. It was so hard to try to capture this. You can pretty much see my arms here. There's like no way to avoid that. I'm hoping we can still see the contents of the photo. So yeah, so there's someone tied up here, head covered, some rope, and their foot is out. And then there's someone hunched right here. I don't know if you can see the silhouette of the head. And then they're like putting something to the foot, like a needle, right? And you got this other dude here. I think that's some bandana on his head. He's just watching. This looks like in a basement of some sort, or just an abandoned building. Okay, so this one I am definitely going to look at the original photo. Maybe the envelope too. There's some markings on it. It doesn't look like fingerprints. Okay, but anyways, I have the photo with me. There's nothing on the back of the photo. Yeah, the only other thing that really sticks out is this weird bag thing here. I'm not sure what it is. But even in the original, it's super dark and I can't tell what it is. But yeah, this is the needle I was talking about, or syringe, I should say. And that would be someone's left foot, right? If this is the right leg, this is the left. I already forgot the context of this letter. Okay, so the letter is from Neptune. Gave it to Ben to pass along to Trudy. She did give me an envelope addressed to Trudy to pass on to her. Okay, so this is from Neptune. So did Neptune take this photo? And maybe this is the friend, right? This is Trudy's friend who drowned in the ocean or wherever. All right, well, let's move on. We still need to identify Neptune. So next is a news article, controversial jellyfish clinics face closure. So she was researching jellyfish. Alternative health clinics that offer jellyfish cures will have to close after changes to legislation made their curing methods illegal. Okay, what's the problem with their curing methods? The clinics have faced much controversy in recent days after their cures involving jellyfish venom were brought to light. Health experts have dubbed the methods quackery and pseudoscience and have been campaigning to tighten legal loopholes that allowed the clinics to operate. Today, the proposal to illegalize medical procedures involving jellyfish was voted into law. Trudy Earhart, who campaigned for the change in the law, said today, "I'm glad to see the government making the right decision. These clinics were taking advantage of vulnerable people, putting profit ahead of the lives of safety of the customers, and they had to be stopped. These so-called cures were doing more harm than good, so it's excellent that these practices have been illegalized to prevent further injury and death to innocent Australians." Oh, okay, so maybe she wasn't doing this, but she ratted out, or she's agreeing at least with the law, right? And that could have made some enemies among her colleagues. Meanwhile, Penelope Mudds, whose clinic is now no longer allowed to continue offering its range of jellyfish cures, said, "The future is looking very bleak, that's for sure. Our whole business operation has been completely destroyed. People like to portray us as evil, that we deserve what's coming to us. All we were doing was trying to run an honest business, offering hope to those left delusioned with the health service. Was that so wrong?" Maybe you're talking about jellyfish poison. This is all just proof that the elites have it for us little guys and will do anything it takes to silence anyone who dares to challenge their so-called wisdom. It's rotten behavior in this day and age. When questioned what she was going to do now that the laws had changed, Muds responded, "I really don't know. Miss Airhead, sorry, Earhart, and her know what's best friends and her know what's best friends have completely destroyed my whole business. Maybe I'll go find work in a comb factory or something." All right, well, we have another suspect here. So I don't understand. Did Trudy report it? Did she have a part in changing the law? Oh yeah, she campaigned for the change. Okay. So maybe it's just the jellyfish stuff, right? Like the animal rights, jellyfish rights. But let me see. It said something like she was researching jellyfish, right? Okay, so the brother knows that she is a lecturer in marine biology. Oh, here, she's one of the leading experts in the country on jellyfish. She's written several books and articles. Okay, so she might know a lot about jellyfish, but definitely was not involved in this business. All right, let's move on. I don't think this really helped us with Neptune, but let's see if the rest will. So yeah, we have these 2 newspaper articles left, a police report, and some social media posting. Let's start with this first article here. The Brisbane Chronicler, rare jellyfish to get legal protection. This is on the 31st of January, a few months before the incident. So I'm just gonna glance over this. You guys can pause if you want to read the whole thing. Okay, so it seems like there was this migration of jellyfish to this beachfront, and there was a company involved trying to remove them, and then Trudy fought to basically don't disturb them. So the company is Chancery and Drucker. I don't think we've seen those names, but we have a CEO here also, Mr. Thomas Drucker. I see. So they developed the panorama tower, so luxury apartments. And these, of course, are by the beach, and they want their tenants to be able to enjoy the beach. Okay, so I think that's the main part of that story. Bus driver strike called off. And this is bus driver Rachel Adams. Anything suspicious in this photo? Any logos? We need what is it? I forgot. The bubbles and something else. Oh, that's the aquarium. Okay, coral and bubbles. So again, I'm just gonna glance over this. You guys can pause if you want to read. Okay, I'm not sure if anything's in that one, but let's see the aquarium. So police were called to the Brisbane Aquarium yesterday after security guards reported signs of a break-in shortly after 1 a.m. Guard Terry Pell heard sounds in the east wing of the aquarium and went to investigate. Detectives at the scene believe the burglars panicked and fled before they had a chance to steal anything. Manager Sarah Wright said, "It's a huge relief that all our creatures are safe and sound and nothing was stolen." Our thanks go out to Terry. Police working on figuring out what in particular the burglars were after. The tank the burglars are believed to have concentrated on is home to the aquarium's squirrelfish population. Okay, I wonder if that is important. Is that how do you spell burglars? Oh, burglars. So all I can think about is the photo where they're injecting something into someone's foot, and I'm thinking it's some type of poison, but I don't know. Anyways, we're not really focused on that either. Although I believe Neptune took that photo. Then she wanted to give it to Trudy to kind of show hey, this is what happened to your friend. So it's the squirrel population. When asked how the burglars had been able to get into the aquarium without the alarms going off, police said that the burglars appeared to have known the passcode to enter the aquarium's staff entrance. Although how the burglars had come to know the code is unknown. Ms. Wright said that we are working with the police to strengthen our security so the events of last night are never again repeated. So, did she actually work there or it was a disguise? But Neptune sounds like a good person who is trying to help. Why would they steal squirrelfish unless they're trying to free them? She's really an activist. I don't know. Okay, well, we have our logo here. Our logo is for the Brisbane Aquarium. Then we have one more article down here. New presenter to start at Radio KIX. Don't know if it's relevant. I'm just gonna skim through it. Okay, yeah, I don't think so. All right, let's move on to the next newspaper. Okay, at a glance, we have controversial cartoonist found dead. Don't know how that would be relevant. Botanical Gardens ad. Australian tourist died from venom overdose. That might be important. Campaigners protest alternative clinic. Oh, and this is the 25th of March, so this is a lot closer to the event. Pension happy, keep your money working. Did you know something about animals here? Okay, I don't know if these animals are important to us. Okay, let's start with this venom overdose. Paul Atkinson on holiday with friends. Been confirmed that Australian man who died in the Philippines yesterday from overdose of a drug colloquially known as snapshot. So what is it made of? So it's made from the venom of a snapback fish. Is that important? Could this be what was being injected in the foot? The venom of the snapback fish has recently become a popular recreational drug due to the venom's psychedelic properties, making the venom an alternative to drugs such as LSD and magic mushrooms. So they're in the Pacific Ocean. It's unknown how they acquired it in Philippines or in Australia. Brisbane Daily Record contacted some aquarists at the Brisbane Aquarium for more info. Snapback fish, a species in the squirrelfish family. Okay. So this might be totally unrelated. They were just after the fish for the drugs. So they produce their venom in I don't know what this word is, near the gills, defense mechanism, predators. The venom can cause shock, and if the dose is considerably large, cardiac arrest. So maybe, it could have still been used. They could have given that person a high dosage in the foot. It's working law enforcement agencies around the globe crack down on smuggling. They've been known to kill swimmers and divers unaware of the fish's dangerousness. So University of Brisbane lecturer Dave Herman died after being stung by a snapback. Okay. So I was right. He was quote unquote stung. But we have that picture, right? So again, this leads me to who is Neptune? Neptune took that photo, so I don't think she is part of this smuggling stuff. So she might actually be an employee who saw everything happen. Okay, then campaigners protest alternative clinic. So they're calling on the government to crack down on attempts to use jellyfish as an alternative medical cure. Gertrude Earhart, senior lecturer in marine biology, University of Brisbane. Pseudoscience unchecked. Okay, meanwhile, Penelope Mudds of the Brisbane All Natural Remedy Clinic claims that our medical procedures are nothing more than pseudoscience are lies by this group of elites who think they know best for everyone. Okay, yeah, and then she's just complaining about them, and that's it. All right, final two documents here, but we do also have the webmail stuff that we'll get to, and we don't need to crack a password because they gave it to us. On the 18th of April 2019, Miss Gertrude Trudy Earhart reported she had received a mysterious parcel addressed to her office at the University of Brisbane. Inside the parcel was nothing but a keychain with a small replica of a bullet attached. The parcel had no return address. So this is just the day before, right? She believed the keychain to be a death threat, but was unsure who it had been sent by. We told Miss Earhart we would look into the matter and get back to her when we had more information. We sent the bullet to be examined by forensics to see if they could garner any clues. We'll update when we have any further information. Okay, why is that important? A bullet keychain. All right, last document here. Potato battery. Bot bat band. It's on the 15th of April. So I think I should read from the bottom because that's the chronologically correct way. Trix LeBlanc. Okay, so this is the student. So Trudy Earhart, don't think I've forgotten what you did. As in expose her for plagiarism. And then a day later, she better sleep with one eye open. Seriously, I mean it. And then a few days later, any new BrizU students unfortunate enough to get Trudy, my condolences. And then another few days, anyone know what the best way to kill a marine biologist is? Asking for a friend. This is too obvious. Yeah, It'd be really stupid if she did it after posting this. Potato Battery playing at some place this weekend. I hope we can count on your support. Okay, so that is the weekend. So let's see. Come see me. Amy Jenkins, come see me at Toad and Tambourine. Got that awesome Trix Blanc supporting me on drums for the full hour. So this is probably her alibi. On the 15th, come see us at Toad and Tambourine. Many thanks to Ben Carter for filling in for Jack the Buck at the last minute. Okay, who are these people? So this last part I'm curious about because Jack the Buck was supposed to do something or play, but the last minute needed to be replaced. I don't know. So I don't think this really helps with Neptune, but hopefully the webmail will. So let's go ahead and go to the webmail. So we got our link here, we have our username, and we have our password. All right. Brisbane City Police webmail. So I want to go in chronological order. So it seems like we go top down here. Brisbane University Security after hours record. As requested, please find the entry records for everyone who visited university buildings after hours. Keith Security. As I'm sure you're aware, your colleagues found a scratched access card on the floor during their investigations. Unfortunately, it was in such a bad state that the barcode wasn't readable by the scanning system, so I was unable to confirm who it belonged to. They took it as evidence anyways. I should have told the investigators that students are still able to gain access by manually typing their student number into the access pads. Also, they can just press the door release button to exit. No need to scan themselves out. So I guess we'll have to go through this meticulously. We do have a time frame of 1900 to 2000, right? So I believe that is our time frame. And right now we just have a bunch of ID cards, so not really helpful, right? So let's go back to this and move on in the webmails. BCPF Intel. Dear Detective PL Ayers, I sent this to Detective Wolf last week, but as the case is with you now, I thought you should have it. I had a vague feeling I had heard the name Trudy Earhart before, so I looked through the archives and this came up. About 15 years ago, Veronica Johnson and Pauline Flint were on trial for murder. Flint had killed someone and Johnson helped her dump the body in the ocean in the dead of night. Could they have gotten away with it? Well, there was no evidence to point it back to them, except that somebody had seen them push the body overboard. Trudy Earhart and Dave Herman, both marine biologists at the University of Brisbane. I see. So first they got rid of Dave, and then they got rid of Trudy. They said they were doing research on the nocturnal patterns of some weird fish. They had kept their boats lights off as to not disturb the fish, but they had infrared night vision goggles so they could work in the dark. So when they saw someone who appeared to be pushing a body overboard, being model citizens, they made sure to tell the police. Later, when the case went to trial, they were called to testify. In the end, the jury decided Flint and Johnson were guilty. The judge gave Pauline 15 years and Johnson got slightly less. So about 15 years ago, 15 years. All right, so they would be out. So on November 1st, 2003, and the case closed in 2004. We got the two accused, guilty on all charges, 15 and 13 years. Case was opened after Trudy and David, they seen two people dumping a body. They've been researching the breeding habits of a nocturnal species of fish using infrared goggles. So update. We were able to retrieve the body, later identified as fisherman Jerry Rogers by Rogers' sister Debbie. We came to the conclusion that the murderer was Rogers' girlfriend, Pauline Flint, and charged her with his murder. Flint's friend Veronica Johnson was charged with accomplice and conspiracy. Flint and Johnson were tried in court, overseen by the Honorable Justice Deborah Lee. They testified to seeing a boat pushing a body into the ocean. Okay. Case archived. Arthur Fish. All right. New suspects. So they're both out, right? Let's still put a question mark. Definitely the 13 years. She would have been out, but the 15 years. All right. Next webmail. Security. Paul Lavelle. Key card log. As requested, please see attached security log for the time you requested. I am rubbish with computers and was only able to extract the employee numbers, not their names. Maybe I don't have the right clearance level. Anyway, the employee numbers include the employee's unique payroll number followed by their date of birth. All right. Oh, so this is Drucker. Wait, let me go back to the webmail. Why do we need this? It's requested by Paul Lavelle. I don't know who that is. Oh, I guess just to get it. Okay, staff entry exit to Chancery and Drucker, Sky Point building. Why is this important? Okay, I don't know why this is important right now. Let's just keep going. Sally, gun registration. Having familiar ourselves with all the news articles relating to Miss Earhart, it's clear that her involvement in the protection of jellyfish may have upset some heavy hitters. In particular, I referenced The Scoop from Brisbane Chronicler on the 31st of January. We've done some digging and it transpires that a handgun was recently registered by Mr. Thomas Bartholomew Drucker. We're having the registration paperwork sent over to us shortly. Okay, so possibly had a gun. That helps with the means. How should I, let's just take a screenshot here. Or maybe I'll just take a note on where I put his name earlier. Okay, let's move on. Johnny Agnew, University Security Report. Here at the university, we have to make written logs every time we see something suspect. Here's a report that you might find useful. Of course, the public aren't banned from the campus grounds. The gates are open from 6 to 6, but you have to sign in with security first. After that, you need to use your ID card. You also need an ID card to enter any of the buildings. Something about the demeanor seemed a little suspicious. Or something about their demeanor. So this is at the university. Yeah, this is where her office is, right? This is in March 14th. Spotted a pair of women. Oh, that could be our murderers. Dumped the body. Spotted a pair of women near the Mackenzie building, middle-aged, late 40s. Only distinctive features, one brunette was wearing lots of colorful bracelets. The other, blonde, has a spider's web tattoo on her arm. Those are very distinctive features. Oh, except the bracelets, right? Because anyone can wear bracelets. I hadn't seen them before, and I got the impression they were members of the public. They seemed to be inspecting the building, taking photos on their phones. I noticed they seemed to be very interested in our security cameras in particular. When I approached them, they said they were merely admiring the architecture. The finest example of Victorian-era architecture in the city, they said, or something like that. I asked to see some ID. They initially refused, but after reminding them they were on private property, they eventually complied. Yeah, it's Veronica and Pauline. I told them the campus gates shut to the public at 6. They said they knew, and I walked on. Okay, so they were canvassing the site. So I'll just say they went to the university in March to inspect the place. And probably the features too, right? Okay, then we got their description. I am curious, I did want to go back to that picture of the bus driver. I just found it weird why they would include this photo. So it's the blonde wearing lots of bracelets, right? Or no, let me see, I already forgot. Brunette, colorful bracelets, blonde spider web on their arm. Okay, we can't see that. But this is Rachel Adams anyways. Okay, I don't know why I wanted to check this out, but let's keep going. All right, 3 more to go. Admin team, Marine Biology Department. To whom it may concern, in case it is of interest, we will send you a copy of the students enrolled in Trudy's behavioral ecology class. It will be with you in a few days. I'm guessing this is part 2 of the game. Jimmy, events, Toad and Tambourine. All right, so this might help with the alibi. Jimmy here from the Toad and Tambourine events team. We had someone from your department call us earlier today looking to get a hold of me, but I was out of office at the time. They passed on your message along with your email address, so in response to that, I can tell you that all acts went ahead as planned on the night of the 19th, present with all supporting artists. Your questions about the posts on social media. I can see that some of the bands posted promotional posts on social media a week in advance. I'm guessing Trix's post was made late on the Sunday night so that her followers picked it up early Monday morning. It was a ticketed event after all. As for your question about the last minute change, Ben Carter stepping in for Jack the Bunch. It wasn't a last minute change in the literal sense, but I'm told he only had about 5 or so days to practice all of the songs, which is very late notice. I trust that clears things up, but do get in touch if I can be of further assistance. So does that help us? I don't know. Does it really clear Beatrix? we're not really focused on that right now anyways. So yeah, this is the last email. Fraud prevention. We have received a letter from your department requesting confirmation on a specific transaction made by one of our customers. I can confirm that the transaction at the toll road, auth code this number from account number ending that, was made by an account in the name of P Muds. What is this? I don't recall anything related to Moonboo banking. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, well, where are we left with, or what are we left with? Let's go back to our objective here. Oh, and the internal memo, right? So let's see. It's up to you to see if you can use this new information to prove Mr. Earnhardt's alibi, namely where he was at the time. Oh, okay, so I think we really got to crack down this GPS password. See if you can discover who this Neptune person is. All I know is that she might be an employee at the aquarium. Okay, so we're back at this passcode. And I don't know. I might just take a hint because, again, I don't have a lot of time these days. There's a lot going on. I wish I can just keep trying. Maybe I'll take one more crack at it. 2 naughty news, event 1 freedom, 8 brainness before. Maybe I'll write the words down. What if before is not 4? And it's a number, right? Okay, let's go back here. It says password membership number, but it could have letters in it, right? Because what I'm thinking is B4, like B4. Okay, what if I take the first letters? 2NN dash E1F 8B and another B and 4? It's worth a shot. Nope. Correct. Do I have the username right? BENERH. Oh, I don't. I copied it wrong. Okay, I'll try with this one. No. And then I'll try just the numbers again. So 218. And I'll try with 4. 2184. No. Okay. Time for some clues. Okay, Marine PT1 hints. Okay, so hints. What do you need help with? Accessing the GPS Wiz website. See hints. Take a look at the hints below for guidance. And we have clue 1. Go to the site and attempt to log in. You'll need the login details. Not really a clue. The username is mentioned and the password is hidden within Ben's note to his lawyer, the one that was intercepted by the police. Read it carefully. Ben tells you that his username is that. The password is a little trickier. Okay, when do the clues start? Although I did spell it wrong. Let me just make sure I spelled it right. Yeah, okay. So now I got it right. The website says that the password is a membership number, and the error message that pops up when you get the password wrong also states that the membership number is a numerical string. I guess I didn't really focus on that error, but I did think that it was a number. Okay, so that is a good clue. It just confirms that I do need a number, but I need more than that. 8 numbers. All right, I think I'll stop there. That's a big clue. It's not really a clue either. They just told us 8 numbers. Okay. 2 naughty. Is 2 naughty like 20? Okay, if 2 naughty is 20, news event. 2 naughty new 7. I was right. It's like Mad Gab, right? News event. That's like 7, right? But what is the new part? 2 naughty new 2 naughty new 7. Is it 27? 2 naughty new 7. 27. 1 freedom. 1 free. 1 3. Dumb. 1 freedom. 1 freedom. One freedom. One freedom. 1 3. What is dumb? 8 braininess. Braininess. 8 something, and then B4, right? That last one's the easiest, B4. What is braininess? Braininess. Braininess. 8 braininess. 8 braininess. 8 braininess. I have no idea. Oh, wait, numerical. It can't be B. Sorry. Braininess B. Braininess B. Braininess B. 8 braining. Okay, I have no idea. Let's take 6. Can you identify numbers within the underlined words? What do you think I've been trying to do? I mean, I guess unless they really don't know what else to say as a clue, other than there's numbers hidden in these words. 290 new 7, like 27, right? I don't know. 1 freedom. I don't understand the dumb part. 8 braininess. 8 braininess B4. Nesby. Nesby. I don't know. What number is this? Okay. I don't want to give up, but I don't have time. Okay. I wish there was better clues. I would like another clue, but the next thing is the answer. Let's see how close we were. So I did, it's 20 and then 7. 20 and then 7. 1, 3, 8. 9, 4? So I knew I was missing, okay. Braininess turns to 9. Oh my gosh, are you serious? It's just in the word. Is that it? So you turn to ones that sound like it, and then, you know what? It is in it. But no, because 20, you have to kind of like mad gap it. And then it turns into, just the word is in the word. Or the number is in the word. Whatever. Let's go. All right. So we got Ben, GPS Whiz. That's all that does. Congratulations. Hi, Ben. Congratulations on tracking your first journey with GPS Whiz. You now have the ability to log every movement as you roam the earth. Your privacy is important to us, so we will only track you when you press the red button on your device. All right, so he had one journey on the 19th, and we have a time frame. So I'm guessing, this is the university, and we start at 1. Why is it going all over the place? Can I zoom? I won't zoom the picture. Okay, so you have event 1 at 19:05. That's right here. He walked here. 2, 3, 4. So basically, he was nowhere near the university at this whole time frame. I mean, is that pretty much clear? See if you can discover who this Neptune person is. Do I need a name? Okay, let's go to the site and then see what we need to put in. So, Marine answer part 1. Who is Neptune? Who is Neptune? Enter Neptune's real full name. What event number is the cafe located at? Because we needed to find out where they met up, right? I mean, here it is, right? That's number 6. And they met at 7:24 or 19:24. Her real name? Let's go back to the newspaper article. So, guard Terry Pell. Is it just Sarah Wright? Aquarium manager Sarah Wright. Tanko burglars are believed to have concentrated on blah, blah, blah. Ms. Wright said that we are working with the police to strengthen our security so that events... Do I go off of that? I'm going to go for it. So Sarah Wright and location 6. So I'm gonna put Sarah Wright, location 6. Ready? Here we go. Oh, wait. One or more of those answers don't seem right. Oh, I don't know which one's wrong then. Okay, for sure the location, right? They're asking what is the location, what event number is the cafe located at? Did I spell her name right? Wright. I don't know any other employees' names. Let's go back to this question. This looks like a cafe, right? What is P? Oh, you know what? I should see like where they stayed the longest, right? So this is 4 minutes, another 4, 5, another 4, and then this is the longest time. Yeah, so if he went to 6, they stayed there for a while because they're talking. They also go to 7 and stay for a while. But this is like 20 minutes. This one is only 7, 4, 4, and 5. So it has to be 6. So that means I have the name wrong. Let's just see if I have the location right. Wait, I'm not sure where to start. I don't know. Okay, I'm pretty sure the location's right, so I need help for finding Neptune. So before this, I already knew that Neptune was wearing the hoodie or a hood over with the logo. The logo correlates to the aquarium. That's why I was looking at a newspaper article, and the only employee there mentioned is Sarah Wright. So let me see. The note recovered from the place of residence, Ben gave a description. Perhaps this will help us. Yes. Ben crossing a logo, coral and bubbles, and the word staff. Okay. Next. In the same note, Neptune refused to tell Ben her real name. She did say it was something close. Oh, I forgot all this stuff. Mightier than the sword, the pen, like Wright. So is Sarah Wright not the correct name? Isn't there a famous saying proverb about something being mightier? Oh, the pen. Oh man, I totally forgot about that part. So, okay. There's something to do with a pen. I think we did see a name. But where was that? I should have been keeping that in mind. Okay, let's go back here. It's tough when I'm feeling like I need to rush this, you know? But in real life, I guess that's how it would be. You know, I'm on a time crunch here to solve this case before Ben gets wrongfully accused. He's already accused, right? Convicted. There's Penelope Muds. But what does that mean by like really close? Neptune. What does Neptune have to do with Muds? And Penelope hates her, and she's a possible suspect. Why would Neptune meet up? Why would she meet up with Ben and help give evidence for her? Trudy's friend. That doesn't make sense. Okay. Real name is something close. She refused to tell me her name, but did say it was something close. Something close to what? To Neptune? Do I take this literally? ABC equals ECD? Okay, I don't know. Let's take the next hand. The famous proverb is, the pen is mightier than the sword. Perhaps Neptune's real name has something to do with pens. So I thought Wright. Like you write with a pen. But why is Sarah close? Okay, next. Using all of the clues, we can establish from the newspaper dated January that the local Ben saw was the aquarium. Where else has the aquarium been mentioned? What does this have to do with pens? Okay, so there's another place that I am forgetting. Well, there's the burglary, but that's the same one, right? That's this one. Squirrelfish. Where else is there aquarium mentioned? Is it this cartoonist? Was I supposed to read this properly? No. Is the aquarium mentioned here? Is that really a puzzle? Ute Pen, aquarist at the Brisbane Aquarium. That's T, right? U-T-E. All right. Let's right there. If I was really focusing on my objective while reading this, I might have caught that. So I'm pretty sure it is location 6 on the cap for the cafe. So your name is Utepen 6. Here we go. Yay! Well done, team. It's just me and you guys. Fantastic work. Ben's GPS tracker and Utepen both give Ben a very strong alibi. Now we must find the person or people who are responsible for the death of Trudy Earhart. While we've been working on this case, we've managed to collect more info on the other suspects. I've supplied it to you in an envelope marked Part 2. So that was part 1. Part 2 will be in the next video, so look out for that coming soon. If you want to help support the channel, there's a link to buy me a coffee in the description or a QR code somewhere here. Any little bit definitely helps out, helps me to buy these games or just equipment, keep you guys entertained. Any other games you want to recommend, leave a comment down below. If you're having a good time solving mysteries with me, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, hit that notification bell so you know when part 2 comes out, and hope to see you then.